Kathleen Murphy. I'm the Assistant Principal for Curriculum at Clark Wilkins.
Hi guys, I'm Meredith Pine, the Assistant Principal for Student Services at Clark Wilkins.
Hi guys, Anna Farrell, Principal here at Clark Wilkins. We are very excited for you to see our building inside, talk with some of our staff, and get an idea of how we are utilizing our spaces and our facilities right now. Thanks, enjoy the video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Neil Vopel. I'm fortunate to teach fourth grade here at Clark Wilkins Elementary School. I love being out in the portables. I'm very fortunate to have my colleague and very dear friend, Mr. Dave Wright, work with me. Across the hallway, we have Mrs. Hartson and Mrs. Valancourt, part of our fabulous fourth grade team here at Clark Wilkins. I've been teaching in the portable for about 14 years. And I've been with the town of Amherst for about 22 years. So I've seen an awful lot in my time here, and I feel very fortunate to be a part of such an amazing school district. Being out in the portables presents a lot of challenges that I'm not sure everyone is aware of. The transition time for the students can be very demanding. The fact that we have one shared bathroom between 44 students can be a challenge. Finding a space to put their coats can be a challenge due to the very small coat rack that we have. In the winter, in particular, as amazing of a job as the custodial staff does in making sure that the ramp is clean of ice, there's usually one or two spills, and we have to get the kids all bundled up in their snow gear to go in and out. We have a shared bathroom that also has a shared printer for the both of us, because that's one of the places that we can put it. We have a computer cart in here, which we're very fortunate to have, and a smart board, and a lot of great things. The portables have seen better days. The ceiling sometimes leaks, sometimes the door swells because of the heat and the humidity, or because it gets so cold. So being out here presents a lot of challenges for us as a staff, as well as for the students. Sometimes a number of the students feel disconnected because we're not part of the main building. We like to tell everybody that's part of the Islander experience out here. So we are proud Islanders and proud Owls. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate your time and effort. Go Owls.
So, hi, I'm Mrs. Polio, the technology teacher at Clark Wilkins School, and for the past years, we don't have the spacing for me to have the lab that I originally had and was in place, and that has caused me to have to go onto a cart of a class set of devices. I just figured out that it's 17% of my time is spent simply distributing and returning carts in each class. And that isn't even all of it. The fact that I have to take a set of devices from access point to access point through the building slows down that Wi-Fi access and slows down things even further. And you know, with any kind of Wi-Fi disruption, it exacerbates with the fact that I'm moving from classroom and access point to access point. So I would say there's a huge chunk of time that should be instructional time for students that is being given over to simply distributing and returning the devices to the carts.
Hi, my name is Jessica Hartley, and I'm one of the speech pathologists here at Clark Wilkins. Here is my beautiful space. It's really not meeting the needs for my students right now. We are making it work because it's what we're given. I actually share a room with 3 other lovely ladies, and so at some points we can have up to probably 12 plus between adults and students in this room, all working at the same time, and that can be very challenging to focus, especially for our students and us, because it's loud in here, and we're doing the best we can, you know, to keep it down, but it's hard because, you know, a lot of our students, they have attentional deficits, maybe they have a hearing impairment, and really we're not really maximizing our time in here because, you know, these are kids that have skills, they're lacking skills that they need to be working on, and they can't focus in this room when there's a lot of other people here. So that's very challenging. You know, I really feel like this room is a revolving door, people in and out of it, especially as a speech pathologist doing evaluations. You know, I'm always constantly being like, all right, so what time can I see this kid? Is it gonna be quiet in here? And sometimes I'm in the hallway trying to find another space. So that's definitely, you know, having a new school with more space, you know, really would maximize our time and what we do here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Robert Allwarden. I am the music teacher at Clark Wilkins, although I just really work at Wilkins School right now. I just wanted to let you know when they're talking about the space usage and if the space fits the needs of our students here. I would say the music room itself here at Wilkins is okay, even though it's really a classroom space, and so I can tend to interrupt some other classes or disturb other classes with the noise level in here. But we've made accommodations with who might be next to the music room. So if there's a new building, you know, as long as there's some thoughts about where the music room is. But what would be really great and helpful for all the students in our community is if the music room was actually close to the stage. And then of course the stage, which is such a sort of used space by so many people, there's really some issues with the stage being, for example, if we have a show going on with 4th graders and we need to get all the 3rd graders in there, it's whether, you know, is PE going on in there, is lunch going on in there, so it's oftentimes very difficult to access that space. And the actual stage itself is very nice, but it really needs an entirely new sound system, and we started to do some lights, but it could really use a huge improvement in lighting situation. Spaces, if the music room is close to it, so you can move instruments in and out, and just to make sure that all the microphones, even if we had hanging microphones or anything, so that people talking on stage could be heard. And this happens not just for music. We have guest speakers come, library has people come in. When we have artists in residence or people visiting from other schools, they're often needing to use the stage and the sound system. And we've been just having a lot of problems with that. So that would be a huge improvement. And new curtains, if we actually make use of the stage again. All that could be used and improved. So I hope hear what we're saying and hope you can be any help along those lines.
So I'm Becky Flynn, and I am one of the interventionists for literacy. And there's a space here for adults. We usually have groups of 4, so there's about 20 children in here receiving literacy intervention. So in literacy intervention, the children really need to hear sounds, be able to listen to the teacher's instruction, and then read quietly. So it can get really loud in here when there are 4 different intervention groups going at the same time. All of the kids are trying to read and listen to their individual instruction. So one challenge is the noise level. The other piece is if you have a space that is near the door, then you have a walk-through space. And what that means is as the groups change, if you are working in a corner near a door, the children actually go through your space to get to their other space. And so that is very distracting. A lot of our children that work in here are highly distracted. So that is a constant, bringing them back in because they are curious who just walked in, and so they lose their concentration. We have mixed age groups in here. We have anywhere from 1st grade to 4th grade. So sometimes the 4th graders can get a little self-conscious about working in the same environment that the 1st graders are working in. So we have been dealing with that. And then the other thing is, due to the lack of storage, the space itself is very tight because this is also all of our storage space. And some of us are classroom teachers as well, so we have everything that we would need in this role plus any other role that you may have in this building. So this is our storage space, our workspace, and our intervention space. Sometimes it can be really hard to assess students in this environment when there are 4 other groups going on and we're trying to do literacy assessments. It can get very loud in here, and it's hard to hear what the answers are of the child and what the teacher is expecting. So sometimes we feel that it's probably not the best assessment environment for our kids. So those are some of the challenges that we find that are probably the most evident.
My name is Brendan Holt, and I'm the PE teacher here at Wilkins. Here at Wilkins, we have a multi-purpose room. We have half of the side for the cafeteria, and there's the stage, and then we have the other half, the gymnasium, that's used for physical education classes. In the middle, we're divided by just a curtain. So that presents a few issues for our students. Number one, it's spatial constraints, right? It's an undersized space in the gymnasium side, so we're just really not optimizing our opportunity for our students to fully access a PE curriculum, to get the education that they need and that they deserve. Number two, they have a lot of traffic coming in and out of that cafeteria side when classes are going on. So there's noises being made, there's students coming in, there's adults coming in, they're making food in the cafeteria. So it's just an extra distraction for our students, and it just makes it that much harder to learn what they need to learn.